Hey folks, the critically acclaimed comedy AP Bio is moving to Peacock for its third season to pick up where it left off. Starring Glenn Howerton and Patton Oswalt, AP Bio tells the story of a disgraced Harvard professor who returns to his hometown of Toledo, Ohio, and lands a gig teaching at Whitlock High School. Howerton plays Jack Griffin, a schemer who decides to use his students' brain power to his own benefit. Every episode of AP Bio, including the brand new third season, is available now on Peacock, the new streaming service from NBC Universal. Sign up at peacocktv.com to stream now.
Lock the gate!
All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers, what the fuck buddies, what the fuck nicks, what's happening? I'm Marc Maron. This is my podcast, WTF. How's it going? Are you guys all right? I'm not home. That's why it sounds like this. I got out. I had to get out. It was scary getting out, but I got out. I definitely got out. I'm recording right now in a casita behind a house outside of Taos Village in New Mexico, where I grew up, not in Taos. I grew up in New Mexico. I felt I needed to do something. Monkey was gone. He was sort of keeping me tethered to the house so I could care for him. Lynn obviously is gone. And also I wanted to point out that today, I might as well do this now, so because I think I need to do it. Today it would have been Lynn Shelton's 55th birthday. Happy birthday, Lynn. You are missed dearly, desperately, sadly, in all ways. Missed. And it's just it's ridiculous. What a goddamn ripoff to everybody alive that woman is not here. Really. So much more life could have been had, with or without me. But in bringing up her birthday, I do want to say that there is something that has been set up in her honor by her father and her husband, her ex-husband. It's a fund at the school where their son went, where Milo went. It's a school for people who have hearing impairment. You can go donate. It would be a nice thing to do if you go to northwestschool.com/donate. You'll see right there at the top the Shelton Seal Family Fund, and it was set up in honor of Lynn and her son Milo and the school that helped them so much. northwestschool.com/donate. The Shelton Seal Family Fund is something you can do that's proactive and very specific and helps very specific people in a very big way. You're very missed, Lynn. Also, a little more Lynn news. If you go, we did a big tribute to Lynn and her television work for American Cinematheque last night, or the night before last, live. It was a panel. It was me and John Hamm and Reese Witherspoon, Michaela Watkins, Eddie Wang, Kerry Washington. It was great. It was great. You can go to American Cinematheque. That's cinema, THEQUE, AmericanCinematheque.com, and go to their virtual programming. So it's, / virtual - programming. And they got a Herzog thing tonight, it looks like, or last night. But there it is, Lynn Shelton Tribute Virtual Q&A. It's also on YouTube, but that'll get you to the YouTube, I believe. And it looks like they got a lot of cool stuff on there. Free plug. A free plug for American Cinematheque. They deserve it. They got a couple of outlets that aren't operating, a couple theaters. So that being said, oh, by the way, did I mention Billy Crudup is here on the show? Billy Crudup is on the show today, and this is the first time I've ever pronounced it Crudup instead of Crudup, which is wrong. So it's Crudup, and he's here. I talked to him back in the house on the computer, and it was pretty great. It was a pretty great conversation. So look, I couldn't leave my house because Monkey was ill, and I kind of made a promise to myself that when Monkey passed, or when I passed him, when I helped him out into the final frontier, the big leap, that I would try to get away, because I've been I've been home, like many of you, for months on end, however long it's been, since March, mid-March, the end of March. Pretty much home, except for a drive to Malibu with Lynn one day. But home. Eating at home, cooking at home. Granted, some takeout had been happening. People were sending me food, but everything was being done in the home, in the house. Where Monkey was sick, where Lynn was sick, where, I don't have, my house is not haunted with grief, but I am haunted with grief. And I didn't know if it was possible. Was it possible? Is it possible to go out and be in the world? Here's what I did. I got it in my head. I needed to go somewhere. I couldn't fly anywhere really and feel okay. Because you know me, I'm getting fucking COVID tests every 2 weeks or so just because. I'm being safe, but I'm a little nuts, a little paranoid. But I don't know that I'm getting less so, but I decided I should come home. I should go to New Mexico. That would ground me. That would, ground my heart. That would ground my mind. I would get up into northern New Mexico. Maybe I could go to Taos specifically and just get up into the hills, into the mountains, into that air, into that sky, into the big frequency that I talked about. I need to tap into the big frequency. So what I did was I joined Airbnb, which I'd not been on. I never went to Airbnb ever. I'd always go to hotels. I don't know. I was Airbnb adverse for years. But for some reason, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to join. And I made the reservation, and the woman who owns the house got back to me and said, I don't know why they let you do this. I don't usually accept reservations from people who have not been on the platform before. For newbies, I guess I would be. You didn't put any bio info. There's no picture. I don't know anything about you. So I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this reservation. I'm like, holy fuck, what did I do? So I wrote her, I messaged her back. I said, look, I'm 56 years old. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I've just gone through some, tragic loss in my life. I'm in the entertainment business. I'm a comic writer, podcast host, producer guy. I'm okay. I grew up in New Mexico. I was looking forward to coming home and maybe, regrouping a bit. And so I kind of rambled on a little bit and sent that off to her. And, a couple hours later, she writes back, well, that was a little too much information. I really just needed a bio, like you'd put on a social networking platform or a social media platform, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, well, or I'll do that, but can I come? So she said, yeah, and I'm here, and it's lovely. It's great. But I had no idea just how terrified I'd be to leave the house, to get on the road, what to bring. Plenty of hand sanitizers, all my different kinds of masks, hats, my plexiglass face protectors. I just had no idea what it would be like to drive out of my 5-mile radius. I made a reservation at the Marriott Courtyard in Flagstaff, and I'm like, what's it gonna fucking be like there in Arizona? Is it gonna be crazy? Are people gonna be like not giving a shit? Is it just gonna be, am I just gonna be on the highway with, COVID pilgrims from all over the place out spreading the virus far and wide? What's happening? I was terrified to leave. And I knew other people were doing it. I knew that I had friends that were driving cross country, and I was like, how are they doing it? And then I realized, like, dude, just do what you do here when you go to the supermarket. Just do what you do here. I told you, I think secretly between us, that I have these two, legit N95 masks that I covet. They were given to me by my friend Kit, and I covet them. I only use them when I go into supermarkets and stuff. They're not the casual, hiking up the hill, walking outside, checking into a hotel. But if I'm going to spend some time in a place, I'll go full PPE and I'll put on a N95 and a face screen. So I'm driving, I'm fueled up. I'm scared to stop at fucking gas stations. It's crazy. And then, I don't know what it was, but just being in the hotel room, I spent a lot of my life in hotel rooms, and it just felt so alien. 5 months. I hadn't been in a hotel room, hadn't eaten anywhere but my house. I ordered takeout at this, I think it was called Red Curry Thai or Red Pepper Thai or whatever. It was on the list of the 7 restaurants you can eat at in Flagstaff. But they're just doing takeout. Everyone's in a mask. I ordered this vegan. It's all vegan curries and some fried tofu. And I brought it all back to the room. And I don't know whether it was fear or just the excitement. I don't know what was going on, but it was like the best food I'd ever eaten in my entire fucking life. It was like the food of freedom or something. I don't know. Maybe it was the best Thai food ever. I probably not. But there was just something about not eating at home being out. Everything was all electrified. It was great. It was great food. And I didn't know if that could continue. But next morning I got out, masked up, hit the road again, made it to Albuquerque. Now here's where it gets sad, because I'm going to my hometown. I'm staying at Los Poblanos for the night. They give me a beautiful suite, but there's fires in northern New Mexico. So there's this orange apocalyptic haze all over fucking New Mexico too, just like California. And I'm like, holy shit, you really can't get away. It really is over. What the fuck is happening? What is happening? It is happening. The plague is going, the fires are going, and I can't even get away from it in my hometown. I'm down the street from my house. I can't get away from it. It was so sad. I head up to see my dad. Didn't want to, did it anyway. Spent 45 minutes in and out. Touched base, sat, told him I loved him, talked to his wife, talked to him. They probably gave me COVID, left. That was it. That was enough. And then the next day I drove to Santa Fe. Right when I got in, went to Tia Sophia's, got some enchiladas, green chili, chicken enchiladas with green chili for me and my buddy Devin. Took him up to his house, and I took a couple of bites. And you know, I hadn't seen Devin in a long time, and he's a dear friend, and we go way back. And love the guy, but I don't know, you know, he just was sort of you all right? And I just taken a bite of my green chili enchilada, and the tears just consumed me, not because of the food, just because of everything. And I hadn't cried like that, you know, since the first week with my brother after Lynn passed away. And I kind of stifled it, but it happened for a minute. But it was like, it was so dramatic and so guttural and so out of nowhere that I almost lost a bite of my green chili enchilada, which I did not want to do. But it was heavy, man, you know, but he was a good guy to be there for that. But we talked and we hung out a bit, and I ate. And then I came up here. And I checked into this place, and it's so sweet. It's this beautiful little place up in the foothills of Taos, not on the ski area side, but on the other side. You know, it was great. I'm just trying to clear my head. And I think Lynn, you know, and I don't believe this stuff, but why not? I was taking all kinds of pictures. I was so excited to be up and out and alone usually I'm terrified of being eaten by animals or falling into a ditch and having to, you know, cut my own arm off with a shoe. You know, I didn't have any fear these last couple of days. And I just went up and I just did it. And I thought about her. I thought about me. I thought about the future. I thought about, you know, what do I need to do for myself? What do I need to do for other people? What I need to do for my country? A lot going on. But just the sadness, the grief was there, but it was like part of the frequency. It's part of the big continuity. It's part of the momentum of humanity. The grief. It's weird though what I do to not feel feelings. You know, whether it's listen to music or just sit around and think about all the horrible shit I've done in my life. There's that seems to be my brain's way of dealing with having immediate feelings in my brain. It's like you can have those and be sad, or you can just, you know, maybe beat the shit out of yourself for things you did before. How would that be for a while? That could go on, you know, ad infinitum, pal. Yeah, you've changed. You're who you are, but like, let's go over the books. I'm like, can't I just feel the grief? All right, but you know, let me know when you want to crack these bad boys. I'm like, look, man, I've made my amends. Come on, let me up for air. But I did the breathing and I saw the views and I took the pictures, and it's been just great. It really has. I'm reading a book on meditation. Well, I read the first few pages. I brought a guitar. I haven't played it yet. But, you know, no pressure. I'm all right. I stopped in Arroyo Seco. Is that it? I think it's a little town just shy of the ski area. I bought some pots, bought some ceramics for my house, even though I might have to be moving in a hurry. Who knows, right? It was fucked up, though. I was in one of the pottery stores, and the guy said, you know, there's a whole family of Nazis just came in here in full uniform. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, well, they were wearing some kind of uniform. I think it was a white supremacist uniform. And I'm like, are you serious? They just came in like, you know, like nothing was happening? Yeah. And I was like thinking, get the fuck out of my store, white supremacists. I'm like, a family. He's like, yeah, that's fucking nuts. He's like, they might still be out there. Look around. I'm looking. There's nobody in this town. There's 12 people, some tourists eating tacos across the street, people wandering around with masks. It's a little tourist town. It's like 5, 10 stores and a taco place, and it's up in the mountains.